Hello, and welcome to Old Toy, New Joy, the show where I share with you my previously enjoyed toys I've purchased through online sources, collector's shows, and thrift stores that once belonged to someone else. Today I have my youngest daughter Jellybean with me today. Say hello, Jellybean.
Hello.
And we're going to be showing you my small collection of G.I. Joe 3 3/4 action figures. Now, all of these I purchased from thrift stores, hanging in little baggies together on the wall for a few dollars each. No weapons, but still in pretty good shape. Most of them still have their thumbs and crotch pieces. In some cases, the baggies were just full of heads and torsos and legs and arms because the O-rings had dried out and snapped, and I had to perform emergency toy surgery and save a bunch of them. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. It's an excellent skill to have. It's something I learned how to do to save some toys, and it was actually a lot of fun. So, I have these G.I. Joe action figures in order of the year they appeared. So, my oldest ones started in 1983, and these ones that I'm talking about today go up to about 1989. So, I'm going to say the names, and then Jellybean's going to repeat the name for you. This way she learns about these as well. So, we'll start with Wild Bill,
Wild Bill.
Storm Shadow,
Storm Shadow.
Spirit,
Spirit.
Wild Weasel,
Wild Weasel.
Hooded Cobra Commander,
Hooded Cobra Commander.
and he was a mail-in, so he's one of my favorites. Buzzer,
Buzzer.
Cobra Stinger Driver,
Cobra Singer Driver.
Shipwreck,
Shipwreck.
Frostbite,
Frostbite.
Zammot,
Zammot.
and he's the twin brother of Tomax. Mainframe,
Mainframe.
Dr. Mindbender,
Dr. Mindbender.
Stratoviper,
Strapperbiker.
Crocmaster,
Copmaster.
Law and Order,
Law and Order.
Falcon,
Falcon.
Raptor,
Raptor.
Fast Draw,
Fastra.
Shockwave,
Shockwave.
Destro,
Destro.
Snake Eyes,
Snake Eyes.
which has the wrong torso, but that was the only torso in the bag that would match. And then we have some G.I. Joe knockoffs. And in the mid-'80s, especially around 1986, there was other companies trying to cash in on the G.I. Joe craze. So these next two guys, I believe, are Leonard the Core figures. This one, I believe, is by Remco, and I like it. He kind of looks like a Quick Kick knockoff. Now, as far as G.I. Joe vehicles, and the vehicles, let's face it, were the best part. I even had a few as a kid. Those are really hard to find at thrift stores, especially in decent or even half-decent shape. Usually when I see a large vehicle like a helicopter, like the Tomahawk, or the Moccasin vehicle, or something like that, they're completely stripped. They're just shells, and they're not even worth buying. These Jeeps are missing pieces, but these Vamp Jeeps from 1982, but still, I thought they were pretty cool. They had their wheels and everything, and they were, extremely inexpensive, so I thought, why not? Something I could put my figures in. And as you can see, these are the Canadian versions. There you go. So I thought those are pretty neat, and they're fun to play with. So also from Hasbro is this 2001 battery-operated tank that I picked up from a thrift store. Again, not radio operated or controlled, not remote controlled, battery operated. And I like this tank because it's got the retro late 60s, early 1970s sort of G.I. Joe label there. And you can put a figure in it. This is a 1981 Leonard Sergeant Rock figure, I believe. He's actually got a die-cast metal torso, which is strange. And Jelly Bean calls him Hank, which makes sense because he's sitting in a tank and his name is Hank. And speaking of Jelly Bean, she's now going to take us through the controls. So Jelly Bean, why don't you take us through the features of this toy?
So there's some buttons on this side. And you can see the button. This one starts the tank.
So that's the tank in motion.
This is
The sound of the cannon.
This one is
Sounds like the machine gun.
machine gun.
Okay.
And then there's some buttons here.
Let's start with that middle one.
This one can turn like all the way. So that's what that one, the middle button.
Cool. Alright.
Then these buttons, when you can turn it on and then
Oh, yeah.
then it can go backwards.
Very cool.
That's what they can use.
So, next we thought we'd have some fun. This is a very nice model of a Ford GT. And we're going to, yeah, you guessed it, drive the tank over it. So, let's see if this toy really works. I mean, tanks are supposed to be able to drive over cars, aren't they? All right. Hey, it worked! And now there's a tank running amok up and down my street, so we're going to have to go stop it. So thank you so much for watching Old Toy, New Joy, and we'll see you next time.